With over 4.7 billion people, 49 countries, and nearly 30% of the world's land, Asia is the most diverse and extreme continent on Earth. But size only scratches the surface. Here, mountains still grow, lakes seem to breathe, and borders twist in ways that defy all logic. This is Asia, unfiltered, unbelievable, and unlike anywhere else. You think you know Asia? Well, think again. These 50 geography facts will change the way you see the continent of Asia. Literally. Fact 1. 11 time zones. Make your way across Asia and you'll cross 11 distinct time zones in one stretch. Imagine it's 8 a.m. in Turkey. By the time you reach Russia's far eastern Kamchatka, it's already 6 p.m., all on the same continent. No other continent spans more time zones than this one. That means when it's breakfast in Istanbul, you've already had dinner in Magadan. That's mind-blowing. Fact number 2. Mount Everest's ever-growing crown. Towering at 8,849 meters or 29,032 feet, Mount Everest sits on the Nepal-China border and still grows by about 4 millimeters a year thanks to tectonic uplift. That's like stacking 2 pennies on top of each other every single year. Fact number 3. Lake Baikal. In southern Siberia lies Lake Baikal, the world's deepest freshwater lake at 1,642 meters or 5,387 feet, and the oldest freshwater lake at 25 million years old. It holds 20% of all unfrozen freshwater on Earth, enough to submerge the entire United States under 1 meter of water. And that's just the beginning. Facts number 4 to number 50 will take you places Google Maps wouldn't dare, from the bizarre to the outright unbelievable. And trust me, you're not ready for what's coming next. Fact number 4. Largest archipelago country. With over 17,500 islands scattered like jewels across the equator, Indonesia is the largest archipelago country on Earth. Some are massive, like Sumatra and Java. Others, so tiny they vanish at high tide. So good luck visiting them all. Even if you hit one island a day, it'd take you nearly 50 years to finish the list. And just when you think Earth's extremes stop at the surface, wait till you go underground. Fact number 5. A cave with its own weather. Deep in Vietnam's Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park lies Song Dong, which is the largest cave on Earth. How big? It's so massive, it has its own weather system. Formed over 2 million years ago and only discovered by accident in 1991, this underground giant could fit an entire New York City block, skyscrapers and all. Yeah, really. And if you think Son Doong is Vietnam's only underground marvel, now let's explore what's hiding beneath the cliffs of Ha Long Bay. Fact number 6. Vietnam's hidden hospital cave. Tucked behind the lush cliffs of Ha Long Bay lies a secret straight out of a spy movie. A bomb-proof 17-room hospital built inside a cave during the American-Vietnam War. From the outside, just another limestone bluff. But inside, surgical rooms, patient quarters, even a mini cinema carved into rock. This underground facility stayed in use until 1975, hidden in plain sight. How's that for battlefield ingenuity? Its thick concrete walls, reinforced with steel, allow doctors and patients to continue their work even during bombing raids. The cave wasn't just a medical facility, it also served as a command post and safe haven for high-ranking officers. Today, it stands as a haunting monument to the resourcefulness and resilience of the North Vietnamese forces. Fact number 7. The language puzzle. With over 2,300 distinct languages and countless dialects, Asia is the most linguistically diverse continent on Earth. From the tonal twist of Mandarin to the glottal stops and complex consonant clusters of Caucasian languages, it's like stepping into 2,300 different worlds. You can forget translation apps. Even your accent might need an interpreter. Travel a few hundred miles and suddenly ni hao sounds like an entirely new language, and it probably is. In India alone, you'll hear everything from Hindi to Tamil to Marathi, and each one opens the door to a different cultural universe. In Southeast Asia, you might find tonal languages like Thai and Vietnamese that can turn a single syllable into a dozen meanings depending on your pitch. And in Central Asia, Turkic languages mix with Persian influences, forming a rich patchwork of linguistic identity. In Asia, language isn't just spoken, it's felt, it's lived, it's legacy. Fact number 8. Festival overload. Asia is not dull. From Diwali's blazing lanterns lighting up India to Thailand's Songkran, where entire cities turn into water-fight war zones, this continent knows how to party. We're talking fireworks, colors, rituals, food, and millions celebrating in sync. Whether it's Holi, Chinese New Year, or Japan's Cherry Blossom Festival, Asia's calendar is basically one long invitation to enjoy. And just when you think you've seen it all, there's the Mid-Autumn Festival in China, where glowing lanterns float into the sky alongside mooncakes and poetry. Or South Korea's Chuseok, a harvest celebration filled with traditional games, ancestral rites, and feasts that bring entire families together. In the Philippines, Christmas isn't a day. It's a season that kicks off in September with paroles lighting up streets for months. From the sacred to the sensational, Asia's festivals blur the line between cultural tradition and full-blown spectacle. Missing one feels like missing out on a heartbeat of the continent. Fact number 9. One party, millions of birthdays. In Vietnam, Tet isn't just New Year's, it's everyone's birthday. Seriously. Since many folks don't have official birth records, Tet became the day the whole country symbolically turns a year older, especially in rural areas. Imagine blowing out candles with 100 million people all at once. And while China celebrates the New Year over 15 days of firecrackers and family feasts, Vietnam's version adds a twist only Asia could deliver. Fact number 10. Asia, the cradle of civilizations. Long before skyscrapers and bullet trains, Asia birthed humanity's first great cities. Think of the Indus Valley in modern-day Pakistan and India, and Mesopotamia in present-day Iraq. We're talking 5,000 years ago. Writing, laws, cities, and farming all got their start right here. While Europe was still in the Bronze Age, Asia was already writing the first chapters of human history. Just let that sink in. Fact 11. Wild Kingdom of Asia. From the ghost-like snow leopard stalking Himalayan cliffs to the king cobra, the world's longest venomous snake, slithering through Southeast Asian jungles, Asia is a wildlife wonderland. Tigers, orangutans, Komodo dragons, it's like Mother Nature dropped her entire deck of rare cards here. You're not just walking through terrain, you're walking through a living, breathing National Geographic episode. And with many of these creatures now endangered, Asia isn't just wild, it's wildly precious. Fact number 12. Snake wine, anyone? In Vietnam, boosting your health might come in a bottle, with a snake inside. Snake wine is a traditional tonic made by soaking whole venomous snakes in rice wine. Yes, fangs and all. Locals believe it strengthens vitality and cures just about everything, from back pain to fatigue, even though there's no scientific consensus. The alcohol is thought to neutralize the venom, turning danger into medicine. Some bottles even feature cobras coiled dramatically inside, a sight that's both eerie and fascinating. While it's mostly consumed for its supposed health benefits, snake wine has also become a dare-worthy delicacy for adventurous travelers. It's not your average sip, but in Asia, wellness sometimes slithers in surprising forms. Fact number 13. Ancient wonders beyond belief. Think Asia's all about the Great Wall of China? Sure, it's the largest man-made project ever built. And yes, Cambodia's Angkor Wat holds the title of the biggest religious structure on Earth. But that's just scratching the surface. Head to the Philippines and you'll find the Banaway rice terraces, carved by hand into mountainsides over 2,000 years ago. No machines, just pure indigenous genius. These terraces aren't just functional farmland, they're living, breathing monuments to ancient engineering. Fact number 14. Beauty in the broken. In Asia, even cracks tell stories. Take kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing shattered pottery with gold, turning breakage into beauty. Or batik, where hot wax meets bold dye to create intricate hand-drawn patterns that scream tradition. These aren't just crafts, they're centuries-old philosophies wrapped in color and clay. Only in Asia can broken be more precious and valuable than brand new. Fact number 15. China's time-bending trick. China covers a jaw-dropping 3.7 million square miles or 9.6 square kilometers, roughly the same size as the US. Yet the entire country runs on just one time zone, Beijing time, or UTC+8. That's right, from the skyscrapers of Shanghai to the deserts of Xinjiang, it's always the same hour on the clock. In Western cities, sunrise can be as late as 10 a.m., and dinner might mean eating in pitch black. It's like living in a real-life time paradox, where the sun and your watch almost never agree. Fact number 16. The alphabet Asia didn't need, and what it created instead. Think A to Z is universal? Not even close. Asia writes its own rules, literally. From the flowing curves of Arabic script in the West to the thousands of Chinese characters in the East, this continent speaks through strokes, symbols, and syllables. Japan even juggles 3 scripts: kanji, hiragana, and katakana. Meanwhile, Korea's Hangul is so precise it's been called a linguistic engineering marvel. Forget 26 letters. In Asia, language isn't just typed, it's crafted. Fact number 17. Puppets with a purpose. Think puppets are just child's play? Well, think again. In Indonesia, wayang kulit shadow puppets don't just perform, they pass down ancient myths, moral codes, and even political satire. Over in Japan, bunraku puppetry turns wooden figures into lifelike actors, conveying deep emotion with astonishing grace. These aren't just toys, they're living archives of culture, wisdom, and identity. Centuries old and still stealing the show. Fact number 18. Ramen, born from hunger and loved by millions. Ramen didn't actually start in Japan. It was brought over by Chinese immigrants. But after World War II, when Japan faced nationwide hunger, this humble noodle dish became a lifeline. Cheap, filling, and easy to make, ramen fed a starving nation. Today, it's a global obsession with gourmet shops, instant packets, and even ramen-themed museums. From survival food to cultural icon, that's one delicious glow-up. Fact number 19. No dancing allowed? From 1948, Japan had a law that made dancing in public literally illegal, unless the venue had a special license. Thanks to the Fuiho law, nightclubs needed government approval just to let people groove on the dance floor. No license, no dancing, period. It wasn't until 2015 that the ban started to loosen up. So yeah, for nearly 70 years, you could party, drink, sing karaoke, but dancing? That was pushing it. Fact number 20. Cashews kings. Crack open this. Vietnam ships out over a third of the world's cashew nuts. Yep, more than 33% of the global supply comes from there. Basically, if you've ever snacked on a cashew, chances are you've just tasted Southeast Asia's finest export. From seed to salty snack, Vietnam has turned the humble cashew into global snack time royalty. Fact number 21. The law that keeps you slim. In Japan, staying fit isn't just a personal choice, it's a legal matter. Under the Metabo law, adults aged 40 to 74 have their waistlines measured during annual health checkups. If their measurements exceed government-set limits, they wouldn't be fined, but their employers could face penalties from health insurers. Yeah, that's right. Japan legally draws the line at 85 centimeters for men and 90 centimeters for women to encourage early intervention before chronic diseases. A government-mandated waistline? That's one way to fight obesity. Fact number 22. The mountain that looks like a mirror. In Kazakhstan, the Big Almaty Lake sits quietly in the Tian Shan Mountains at 2,511 meters or almost 8,240 feet, and it looks almost fake. On calm days, the lake becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting the surrounding snow-capped peaks with near photographic precision. But here's the twist. The lake isn't just scenic, it's also a high-security water reservoir, strictly patrolled and protected. And yes, tourists are still allowed, but only for brief moments. Fact number 23. The fish head of honor. In Chinese culture, serving fish isn't just about taste, it's about respect. When a whole fish is brought to the table, the head should point toward the eldest or guest of honor. Why? Because the head represents status, wisdom, and leadership. Point it the wrong way, and you're basically giving the silent treatment with seafood. So next time you're at a Chinese banquet, watch where that fish is looking. Fact number 24. Masters of martial arts. From the dojos of Japan to the temples of China, Asia is the cradle of legends like karate, kung fu, judo, and taekwondo. But this isn't just about flying kicks and epic showdowns. These arts are centuries-old systems of discipline, respect, and philosophy. Every bow, every stance, every strike, it's not just a move, it's a tradition passed down through generations. You don't just train your body, you sharpen your spirit. And in Asia, that's how warriors are made. Fact number 25. The Uncolonized Kingdom. While much of Southeast Asia fell under European rule, Thailand stood its ground. It's the only country in the region that was never colonized. Through sharp diplomacy and royal smarts, it kept both British and French ambitions at bay. No Union Jacks and no tricolor flags. Just Thai pride waving strong for centuries. Now that's sovereignty with style. Fact number 26. Asia's tech titans. You think your Wi-Fi is fast? In South Korea, buffering is practically illegal. Asia's tech giants, especially Japan, South Korea, and China, are light years ahead in innovation. We're talking bullet trains that glide at over 300 kilometers per hour, vending machines that talk back, and robots that greet you in hotel lobbies. From 8K TVs to AI-powered toilets, the future isn't coming. It's already landed in Tokyo, Seoul, and Beijing. But it's not just about flashy gadgets. These countries are quietly powering global industries. South Korea leads in semiconductor production. Japan is building smart cities like Fujisawa powered by clean energy. And China dominates in electric vehicles, 5G networks, and AI research. Even education is high-tech. In Singapore, AI adapts lessons to each student's pace. In Taiwan, kids learn to code in elementary school. In China, facial recognition pays for your coffee, drones deliver packages, and cash is quickly becoming a thing of the past. In Asia, tomorrow's already yesterday, and the rest of the world is just trying to keep up. Fact 27. Asia's soulful sanctuaries. From Kyoto's 1,600-plus whisper-quiet temples to Bhutan's cliff-hugging monasteries and South India's color-drenched Hindu shrines, Asia is a spiritual goldmine. Whether you're chasing enlightenment or just a moment of calm, this continent serves it up in incense and echoing chants. One step inside and the noise of the world, well, it's gone. In fact, every site whispers its own sacred story, etched in stone and sung in ritual, and carried in the air like a promise of peace. Fact number 28. Birthplace of belief. Asia isn't just the largest continent, it's the spiritual cradle of the world. 4 major world religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, were born right here. That's not just history. It's living, breathing belief spread across temples, mosques, churches, and shrines, from the Himalayas to the South China Sea. One continent, thousands of gods, millions of followers, and billions of stories. Fact number 29. China's Singing Desert. Deep in China's Gobi Desert lies a mystery that's baffled travelers for centuries. The dunes near Dunhuang don't just shift, they sing. When the wind blows or someone slides down the slopes, the sand emits a haunting, bass-like hum that echoes across the silence. Scientists call it booming dunes. Locals? They believe the desert speaks to those who dare to listen. Fact number 30. Mango mania in India. If mangoes were gold, India would be Fort Knox. In 2023 alone, India produced over 21 million metric tons of this juicy treasure, more than any other country on Earth. That's enough mangoes to fill 8,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools, or give every person on the planet 2 mangoes each, with extras for seconds. No wonder they call it the king of fruits. In India, it rules with a sweet, sticky crown. Fact number 31. The river that's home to saltwater crocodiles. The Agusan Marsh in the southern Philippines is a vast wetland with a kingdom of monsters. This area is home to some of the largest saltwater crocodiles ever recorded, including Lolong, a 20-foot beast that weighed over a ton captured in 2011. Scientists believe this swamp may hide more giants lurking under the surface, where human footprints vanish without a trace. Just don't be surprised if the next monster-sized croc isn't in a zoo, but watching you from beneath the water's edge. Fact number 32. The sports you won't see at the Olympics, but should. Think football's wild? Meet kabaddi, a full-contact South Asian sport where players hold their breath, sprint into enemy territory, tag opponents, and race back before getting tackled to the ground. It's like tag meets wrestling in one breath. Then there's sepak takraw, Southeast Asia's answer to volleyball, except you can't use your hands. Players bicycle kick a rattan ball over a net with ninja-like flips. Forget gold medals. These games are pure adrenaline and ancient tradition rolled into one. Fact number 33. English isn't the most spoken language? Think English rules in every continent? Not quite. With over 1.3 billion native and fluent speakers, Mandarin Chinese takes the crown as Asia's most spoken language. That's nearly 1 in every 6 people speaking Mandarin, more than the entire population of Europe combined. So next time you think everyone understands hello, remember, ni hao runs the show. Fact number 34. Kaisaki, Japan's edible art gallery. Step aside street food. Asia's got a fine dining tradition that's practically museum-worthy. Enter Kaisaki in Japan, a traditional multi-course meal where every dish is a masterpiece. We're talking seasonal ingredients plated like brushstrokes on fine porcelain, each course more delicate and intentional than the last. It's not just dinner, it's a ceremony of taste and texture. Imagine eating a cherry blossom at the exact moment it's meant to be savored. Now that's flavor with a philosophy. Fact number 35. The land that birthed dinosaur graveyards. Mongolia's Gobi Desert isn't just dry, it's a prehistoric time capsule. It's one of the world's richest sources of countless dinosaur fossils, including the first dinosaur eggs ever discovered, and that was just the beginning. Entire nests, skeletons mid-combat, and even fossilized skin have been found here. It's like time hit pause and let the Earth preserve its ancient secrets in perfect detail and then frame them in stone for the world to rediscover. Fact number 36. Hidden wonders you've never heard of. Think Asia's all megacities and crowded temples. Think again. Tucked away in its vast corners are jaw-dropping gems like Vietnam's mystical Ha Long Bay, India's rolling tea gardens of Munnar, and Mongolia's towering Gobi Desert dunes. These aren't just your average postcard spots. They're the kind of places that make travel feel like time travel. Unmarked on most bucket lists, but unforgettable once you're there. Fact number 37. The Chopsticks superpower. China alone produces a staggering 45 billion pairs of chopsticks every single year. That's enough to give every person on Earth a fresh pair 5 times over and still have millions to spare. If you stack them end to end, you could circle the planet more than 350 times. Now that's what we call a grip on global dining. Fact number 38. No gum allowed. Got gum? Not in Singapore. Since 1992, chewing gum has been banned. Yeah, completely illegal, unless prescribed for medical reasons. Why? Because vandals were sticking gum everywhere, on subway doors, elevator buttons, you name it. So the government stepped in, and the city cleaned up, literally. Today, Singapore's streets are spotless. Its trains run like clockwork. And gum? It's tightly controlled. That's one way to keep things stick-free. Fact number 39. Treks that test your soul. Asia doesn't just offer landscapes, it dares you to conquer them. You can hike through Nepal's skyscraping Himalayas, wander the stair-like rice terraces of Banway in the Philippines, or if you're feeling extra bold, challenge yourself with a trek up Japan's iconic Mount Fuji. These aren't strolls. They're spiritual gut checks with jaw-dropping views at every turn. Fact number 40. Skyscraper to the Sky. Meet the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the undisputed king of vertical living. Towering at 828 meters or 2,717 feet, it's not just the world's tallest building. It's a needle piercing the clouds. To put that into perspective, you could stack 3 Eiffel Towers and still come up short. Elevators zip you up 160 plus floors at 10 meters per second, faster than most roller coasters. And yes, the building is so tall you can watch the sunset twice, once from the base, then again from the top. Fact number 41. Japan's Century Club. In Japan, growing old isn't rare. It's practically a national sport. As of 2023, 92,139 people have crossed the 100-year mark. That's like filling an entire stadium just with centenarians. Thanks to diet, healthcare, and a culture that respects aging, Japan leads the world in life expectancy. Over there, 80 is the new 60, and turning 100 might just get you a shout out from the Prime Minister. Fact number 42. Azerbaijan's volcanoes. Azerbaijan isn't just oil-rich, it's mud volcano central. This small country boasts nearly half of the world's mud volcanoes, and some of them can spontaneously ignite, shooting flames several feet into the air. In 2001, one erupted with such force it formed a 15-meter-high island that later disappeared. Fact number 43. The floating jungle. On Loktak Lake in India, the land isn't really land. Massive mats of vegetation called pundis drift across the water like ghost islands, some big enough to build houses on. But the real wonder? This lake hosts the world's only floating national park, home to the endangered Sungai deer, a rare species that moves with such grace, locals call it the dancing deer of Manipur. Fact number 44. The world's first university was in Asia. Long before Oxford or Harvard ever cracked open a book, Nalanda University in India was already shaping minds. Founded in the 5th century CE, this ancient powerhouse is the world's premier residential university, with over 300 lecture halls, fully equipped labs, and massive libraries stacked with scrolls. At its peak, over 10,000 students and 2,000 professors from across Asia studied here. No Wi-Fi, no laptops, just pure brain power. Fact number 45. The world's least densely populated country. Despite being the 18th largest country in the world, Mongolia is one of the emptiest on Earth. With just over 3 million people spread across a landmass larger than Germany, France, and Spain combined, it holds the title of the least densely populated independent country on Earth. You could drive for hours or hundreds of kilometers without passing another soul. Just grasslands, mountains, and endless sky. Fact number 46. The Vanishing River. The Dong Van Karst Plateau in northern Vietnam features rivers that vanish into limestone caves and re-emerge elsewhere, thanks to its complex karst topography. Some villages rely on these disappearing rivers for fresh water, though they're often unpredictable. Fact number 47. Asia's tectonic triple junction. At the border of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China lies one of the most violent and unpredictable places on the planet. Not because of people, but because of tectonic chaos. This is where three massive plates, the Indian, Eurasian, and Arabian, crash into each other. The ground here is constantly shifting. Mountains rise, earthquakes strike, and the Earth itself seems alive. Fact number 48. The village that boils in the clouds. Hidden high in the mountains of Iran is a tiny village called Shara Garmcha, and it might just be the hottest inhabited place on Earth by land temperature. But Asia holds another fiery secret. In Lut Desert, also in Iran, NASA satellites recorded ground temperatures reaching a mind-melting 159.3 degrees Fahrenheit, or 70.7 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to fry an egg on the sand, if it doesn't vaporize first. Fact number 49. Home to half of the world. Beyond being the largest continent by land, Asia is also where most of humanity lives. With over 4.4 billion people, that's 60% of Earth's entire population packed into one continent. That's more than every other continent combined. And just two countries, India and China, make up the lion's share. Talk about crowded supremacy. Fact number 50. A continent of nations. Asia is not only dominant in size, it also wins in headcount. With 48 plus countries, all members of the United Nations, Asia packs more nations into one continent than anywhere else on Earth. From the skyscrapers of Singapore to the steppes of Kazakhstan, the diversity is unreal. Oh, and let's not forget, Russia, the largest country in the world, calls Asia and Europe home. That's one continent flexing maximum geopolitical muscle. And there you have it, the 50 mind-blowing geography facts about Asia. Which one made you go, no way? Tell us in the comments. If you love this ride through Asia, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping facts from around the world, and tap one of the videos on your screen now to keep the adventure going. Trust us, the next one is just as wild. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.